Hey guys, welcome and hello and welcome. It's me, Danny Deals, Zune Poco Moss, Cornbread, all of the above. I want to talk one more time today because I've just been really digging into this thing, SMCI. I know many of you are probably totally sick of hearing me talk about this stock and want to hear about SoFi because that's all this clown ever talks about is SoFi. But guys, I mean, I'm not selling my SoFi position at all here. I think SoFi is going to go much higher, but I've talked about the stock till I'm blue in the face, and I'm always looking for new opportunities. And I've really dug deep into Secure Micro, and I think two facts that are central to my bull case are the demand is going to explode for AI data centers, and Secure Micro is at the center of that. Secondly, the delisting fears are really overblown, and not all fraud is created equal. Um, Everybody wants to say, "Oh, the rally's over. It almost touched 50, and it's just a sell-off." But if you actually look at what's happening, the last 2 days, look at the aggregate short volume ratio. Yesterday, 62. Today, 60. It's only been that high one day in the last month, maybe two. Most of the time, it's been down in the 40s. So you say, well, how could they do that when they're not borrowing a ton today? Well, the shares on loan are already 150 million to a short interest of 105 million. So the fact that the borrowing was flat today, I mean, they borrowed 3 million shares yesterday. And don't forget, yesterday was a massive sell off as well because the stock was trading what? Coming into trading 48 or something in the pre market, 48, 49, almost touched 50. So it sold off like 10% yesterday, also, another huge sell off today, and it's shorting. It's a ton of shorting. And why are they shorting it? Why are they pushing it down? Because they don't want to see retarders like ourselves, you know, fat, ugly turds sitting in our cubicles, miserable, make a ton of money. And although I have, lost a lot of money on my, stupid weekly calls, I made so much on this stock. Like I said, I'm playing with house money. I'm not worried about it. I don't want to push you guys into idiotic investments. All I'm saying is look at the facts. The fraud here that they're alleging is basically improper recognition of revenue, improper relationships, double dealing with relatives, perhaps skirting some sanctions laws, importing things into Russia. When I look at the totality of this, it's all known. It doesn't look like anything that's going to be a black swan event for the company. It doesn't look like it's anything that's going to affect the company's core business. And, you know, there was several articles out today detailing how, JP Morgan came in and, talked with SMCI management, and they basically came away with the conclusion that there is not going to be any effect on their orders. That nobody would say, "Hey, we're going to go to, HP or Dell because we're afraid SMCI is going to be delisted," and nobody seems particularly afraid of this, being pulled out of the Nasdaq 100. I just don't know how important that is. I mean, JP Morgan says, "Hey, they're going to hit revenues, 24, 25 billion next year. They're going to be profitable, but hey, it's a sell at $23." Very strange how they do that. Very strange indeed, because there's so many positive notes, and then they're like, "Hey, the stock is worth half this price," almost the lows it went to. If the demand is going to be there, if the customer demand is there, and customer demand is unaffected and explosively growing, why would the stock be worth like half of next year's sales? Just doesn't make any sense. Do you think they might want your shares? I do. I mean, it's just a theory. But why the heavy shorting if it's just an organic sell off, if people think the rally's over? And why would you think the rally's over when the stock was 100 and whatever, 120 back in March, when AI demand is only going more and more and more, higher and higher? And they're at they're going to introduce new products next year, and they already have, best in class products and more cost effective. So I see this company as one of these, the FUD machine just went into absolutely high gear, knocked it down to 17. Now they're, convincing people it's overvalued at 44. But what do you see on the chart? I mean, short term, once this thing passed 40, there is no selling whatsoever under 40. And it's come down and tested that line, you know, in just 10 days, it's come down and tested that line like a dozen times. And it bounces off. I mean, certainly no retarders are going to sell down there. And I think the problem, you know, a lot of these market makers and the shorts are running into, yes, they make a lot of money shorting and selling options on stocks like SoFi, in particular stocks like NEO, and they take a lot of retail money because retail is so easy to manipulate and so easy to push around. But there's a flip side of that coin, is that we're in the information age, and there's a lot of really smart retail investors that are just unaffected by fear, unaffected by FUD, and are going to buy these dips. And I think that's what's happening. I think it's shorting, and I think they're desperate to get people out of the stock. Guys, it's oh no, the boss is here. The boss is here. But anyway, so I'm not trying to pump this thing to like rescue my stupid, chubby, short-dated calls. I already rolled out of most of those and extended them out like another 3 or 4 weeks. And yes, I lost money. Yes, I lost money. So there you go. There's my mea culpa, my admission. But my theory is this has formed a really, really nice base here at 40, and support looks really good over the short term. And there's almost all the AI plays, guys, are overvalued right now. I mean, in my opinion, I can't buy Palantir in the 70s. I can't buy Nvidia 140, 138, whatever it is. I can't buy Facebook right now just based on Mark Zuckerberg's haircut. Guy will probably, hey, you want to roll? I'm going to do some jujitsu on your ass. Like, no, dude. I'm an old fat guy. I'm just looking for some AI money. Try to jujitsu me, Zuckerberg. Push me into some Instagram terms and conditions with some kind of figure 4 leg lock. Kind of omoplata. Foot stomps a la Carl Huhaus. Dude, my brother used to hit me with some foot stomps a la Carl Huhaus. It's no fun. No fun whatsoever. But what I'm trying to figure out, okay, so if customers aren't fleeing, they're very likely not going to be delisted. And how do I know that? The reason I know that, and people are like, well, the special internal committee is, of course, going to just go along with whatever management says. Look at the attorney who was the committee of one on that. She was the general counsel at Intel, was her last job. Do you think this is not a serious person? And their report interviewed, I think it was like 90 people. They reviewed, I think, I might be wrong about this, but I think it was like 6 million documents and emails. And they concluded they're not going to have to do any significant restatement of the financials, which is what everyone is so terrified of. And I don't understand why people are so afraid of that. I mean, Mr. Market does not like to look in his rearview mirror. Mr. Market likes to look forward into his crystal balls. So if you know demand is going to be there going forward, you know they get their house in order, you know they fix the accounting, why would some restatements from 2023 have some huge material effect on the core of this business? Why would anybody really care? Unless it's some extensive fraud that goes to the core of the business and, you know, all the executives are going to jail and all that stuff. And what if an executive, you know, gets fines and gets some kind of slap on the wrist criminal charge? That's not a death sentence for the business. You know, accounting, some minor accounting fraud does not necessarily equal delisting. They have to go back, they have to restate, they have to fix, they have to get their house in order. Guys, there are just very, very few AI plays that get, you know, that have healthy demand and should be up on this curve with the rest of these AI stocks, and they just got destroyed through FUD. Now, if this FUD was legitimate and they could really get delisted and they could really, you know, be at risk of being put out of business, this is some kind of black swan event, but none of that's even being alleged. Even the whistleblowers, they're not alleging fake sales. They're not alleging made-up sales. They're not alleging some type of phantom revenue situation. They're not alleging some type of massive systemic fraud. They're alleging improper recognition of revenues, improper relationships, improper controls. And what this, what this report said from the select committee or special committee is that they need a new CFO, they need a new general counsel, they need a new head of accounting, they need a huge legal team in there to overhaul this bullshit mom and pop operation that they've been committing all this fucking fraud with their brother-in-law over in Taiwan or Korea or Malaysia or whatever the fuck it is. And this guy and his wife own so many shares, it's fucking ridiculous. I wish I had their shares. I would probably be committing fraud myself. No, I'm too pretty to go to even minimum security federal prison. I'm far too pretty and doughy. Anyway, guys, so that's just another pump for SMCI. I'm just trying to get this on your radar because I think this thing is going to pop like to 60 or 70. And I think there's just a ton of demand for their products. Management just came out and said, hey, we're very confident we're going to get the financial statements in order. I'm confident that this attorney who was leading the special committee is telling the truth. I don't think she'd put, 30-year reputation as somebody who's gone up and up and up on this company for the $255,000 in stock options or whatever the fuck it is. I think this is just a lot of smoke and a tiny bit of fire. And there are legitimate problems, legitimate concerns. There might have been some criminal violations, might have been some violations of securities laws, SEC regs. You got to face the music. But that does not change the fact that the core of the business is growing, is ridiculously undervalued at this price. So why do people think, oh, it's going to keep falling and it's investor business daily bullshit? The JP Morgan call in itself is FUD bullshit. They want your shares. They're telling you customer demand is unaffected, but it's worth half of what it's worth. When it's already worth half of what it should be. So it's worth a quarter of what it should be and what it could be. Read me? So in short, I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. I'm very confused. I'm talking in circles. I took a beating today, and I'm grasping at straws. I'm desperate. Guys, I had to go home and get my Shine box. Spent the last 3 hours doing Uber Eats and Shine and Shoes down at the bus station. The guy kicked me in the head with a pair of wingtips. Shoe Shine boy, they call me. Kids used to call me Little Danny Shoe Shine. They give a pair of wingtips a spit shine for 2 bits. Go buy some penny stocks, lose all that money, come back, shine shoes the next day, lose all that money. What an investment strategy, guys. And for some reason, I did all that with a Polish accent. I can't really figure out why. Anyway, guys, as you know, I'm a big idiot. It's Un Poco Mas. It's Hurricane Lopez. It's Stock Karen. Let me see if anybody's commenting. Oh, the great Jeff Presley, everybody's favorite. We loved you in Beverly Hills 90210. We got the great Jarrett Madsen. Isn't the special investigator just a board member? No, Jarrett, she was an attorney that specializes in these types of forensic investigations, and they brought her in onto the board just to do this investigation. So that's a complete misnomer. She is brought in for this. She had a forensic accounting and a team, a law firm working with her. So this was a very extensive investigation, and I'm confident in her word that this is what it is. Now, I'm not saying there aren't some problems. I'm not saying there's not a couple of turds in the punch bowl, if you will. I'm not saying these guys were not up to no good, but I'm saying it was around the margins. It doesn't go to the core of their business now. Their sales are real. Their installations are real. These data centers they're building are real. Their new products are real. Their software is real. Their advantages are real. Everything is real because I keep it real. DJ Patchy Drizzle. Call me for your bat mitzvahs, your octogenarian birthday parties, your boring, tame holiday parties where no alcohol will be served. DJ Patchy Drizzle doesn't do fun. DJ Patchy Drizzle will not have any embarrassing stories that will get you fired. Get you home nice and early. Because nothing good happens after 8 p.m., guys. That's DJ Patchy Drizzle's motto. Anyway, I think I was supposed to be talking about stocks, but I'm tired. You guys know how it is. So no, Jarrett, not at all. The special investigator is a board member, but she's specifically brought in to do this, and it was a very real investigation. Bought some calls today. Too far down, too fast. Yeah, I completely agree, Jeff. I did the same. Um, at least, yeah, that's what, J.P. Morgan reported that, and they talked to management, and that was in Investors Business Daily. That was reported a bunch of different places. They're like, no, no, no. Nobody's canceling orders. On the contrary, demand is coming in. Demand is increasing. And if it's not going to break down after 10 tests of 40, where is it going to go? It's going to go right up your wazoo, these shorts. 150 million shares on loan. That's why they're able to short the stock without borrowing any given day. And the borrow fee is still like 1%. What Tupelo hose hound is loaning out shares for a negative borrow rate? What type of meat whistle would do such a thing? What type of one-eyed trouser snake hates this stock? What is it? Somebody with short legs? They're bitter? They got short, fat legs. They couldn't be a great basketball or tennis player? And that caused them to short, good companies like Secure Microcomputer Incorporated, ticker symbol SMCI, where Danny Deals is upside down in some calls and needs to pump the stock desperately. Needs validation from 3 people on YouTube, none of which are even taking time to comment. Probably my only commenters are wearing backwards baseball caps, taking bong rips. Girlfriends are upset. You guys are playing video games. Should be working on those reports for work. Playing another game of Madden. Sound familiar? Maybe working out a new riff on your guitar. Should have been doing your due diligence. Instead, you're listening to some fat idiot. Some U-turner. Hey, honey, this fat guy online said we should buy this stock that's having accounting difficulties and is about to be delisted and is under federal investigation at the Justice Department and was just delisted like 7 years ago. And their executives are up to all kinds of malfeasance and criminal problems. But, hey, the fat guy online said buy. Well, all right, dear, you've always been a complete idiot. That's why you're broke. Could be more like your brother, the accountant. Oh, but no, you're going to start your own business. Oh, that's why we're living in a double wide. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, guys, just the voices in my head. We got to do a little holiday decoration duty calls, guys. But anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry about this broadcast. It was a huge turd. We got Marcus Cardenas. Meat whistle. LOL. What's up, Marcus? How are you, sir? Thank you for taking your valuable time to comment. I'm sure you have a lot going on. That's why you're watching this show. No. Anyway, guys, anybody else have anything to say before I shut this turd down? We got actually 14 people watching. I thought that said 4. Because I need to go to the eye doctor because I can't see anything between like 3 feet and 1 foot, which is like the normal distance you're always at whenever you're reading, looking at anything, doing anything. It's a complete blur. So I basically go through life kind of like pushing the book out from here to here to here to here, taking my glasses. Anyway, guys, what the fuck? It's Un Poco Mas, it's SMCI, it's Danny Deals, it's Stock Karen, it's Princess J, it's Not a Lurker, it's Alberto Berti Aviles, it's whatever. It's Jeff, it's Marcus, it's Jarrett. You guys have a great night. Thank you. Peace.